Hello, that crazy dog. Welcome to another episode of Shit Your Pants Wednesday on the DJB Productions Network. I'm your host, Matt Sunner, and my co-host, Mr. Danny J.
What's up, boys? I got some biscuits for that dog. That dog scares the shit out of me. I'm telling you.
I've said it before. I'll say it again. Maybe I got a milk bone.
Milk bone.
Nice doggy. There's a bear in his apartment. Comment below if you know where that quote's from. Both of them. You should if you watch horror movies at all.
Yes.
It's not a horror movie. It's more of a comedy. Anyway,
what a movie we got today.
On to the topic at hand. Wow. This week's movie, Killer Sofa.
Okay, now we didn't say every movie was going to be great. Okay.
No, we said it would be entertaining in some way.
Entertaining some way. And I can honestly say, Matt said to me, he said, watch this movie. And he said, need a link. And he said, I watched this movie. And Matt said, I laughed throughout this entire movie. I said, okay. So me and the wife sat down, we watched it. And me and the wife laughed through this entire movie. And not chuckled. Like, we laughed really, really hard at this movie.
Yeah.
This is some crazy shit.
This is one that you need to invite people over. Do not watch it alone because the entertainment value will go up the more people you have in the room, especially if they're smart asses.
This is an
Quick-witted smart asses.
This is a Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Oh, yes, it is.
Opportunity, if there ever was one.
Yes, it is. Because I mean, there are certain aspects of the story that are just like so disjointed. It's like they're just trying to figure out how they're going to connect it. And it was kind of sloppy. And I mean, I know your wife, she commented on it because we were talking about this actually on Facebook. That the general premise behind it, as far as once you find out what's going on, is kind of a cool idea. The vehicle for it being a recliner.
I didn't think so.
It was just kind of
they refer to it as a divot,
which is some sort of, which actually is weird because again the guy that figures it out, he's a rabbi. He's a rabbi because apparently a divot is actually more of a Hebrew.
There was a movie with Jeffrey Dean Anderson that featured one, and the box and that in itself can be a scary thing based on what I saw in the movie, that type of thing. But in this case, first of the chair, and I want to bring Matt.
It's not even a sofa.
Matt,
it's a recliner. It's twice.
I think you're right. I'm going to make you big because you have this picture in the back there. Now this picture looks a hell of a lot better than what we got.
Yeah,
in the movie. Okay, I'm just going to say that right up bat. The chair, it's a recliner. So first of all, this is from New Zealand. So
yes,
everybody's
crazy
saying,
Kiwis.
Everybody was saying like it's not a sofa, it's a recliner. I'm like, you know what? It's open to interpretation. Some people call things different. I say whatever it is, but the chair is a recliner, and it has these two buttons, and the way the folds of the thing, it looked like Peter Griffin.
Now that you say it,
it looked like Peter.
Think of that.
Like I'm sitting there waiting for the thing to be like freaking sweet, like look at our freaking sweet legs, right? But no, and here's what I got out of it. If we broke up into if we had a group of 10 people, and then we got into pairs of 2. Okay. And then those 5 groups wrote a story.
And you tried to paste them all together.
And then the teacher got those stories and then put them all together. That's what we got in here, because there's no fucking explanation of anything that's worthy of you saying, well, you go, oh, well, he did say this and he didn't mention. Fuck you. It wasn't good enough. It was not good enough. Okay. I had no idea. The one distracting thing was the main girl in this, she had such a set of legs on her that it was hard to even concentrate on what was being said, because she had, her body was so incredible. You're like, wow. Okay. There's a scene where she has faux sex with the chair.
Yeah, she says she sits in the recliner, and it's like suddenly like she's just like, she's stroking along the sides of the chair. She's fully reclined and she's wiggling. I mean, it's like expect. It's like
the best part of this sofa sex is that every time they're climaxing, the little lever on the side that makes the recliner go up, she pulls that lever like this. I was laughing my ass off. I said, this girl is really working it with this chair. Like, I couldn't do that scene without laughing my ass off, I think, as an actor. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I mean, she really gets into it. Kudos to her for doing that. It's another one. One of our episodes we did Vampire Virus, and this honestly is not much different.
No,
in the quality, in the fact that there's only like 6 actors in the whole movie, right? The rabbi, like, he was completely like, what the hell was he doing in there?
Yeah, and what was even the purpose of having this small little backstory about, like, apparently his father's a rabbi and he calls his dad basically to kind of get help, and it's like the father saying, you can't do this, you're too old, you're out of shape, you can barely even consider yourself an actual rabbi.
And I said to my wife,
what's the point of this? This adds nothing to the movie.
The rabbi that we're talking about, he looked like he was easily in his late 60s.
Yeah.
And I said, how old could his father be? And he's calling his father. That guy must be 110 fucking years old. You know what I mean? I said, but
and
whatever.
It also made it think that you're going to see like this epic showdown, because he's like, oh, we got to build this Dybbuk box, and you figure you're going to see almost trying like an exorcism or something with this rabbi and try to.
The rabbi's friend, the rabbi's friend / girlfriend looks like Miss. She looks like Miss Chloe from, remember the one that was like the 976 numbers. Like Chloe. Yeah. She looked like her a lot, right? You don't know really why anybody is related in this movie. You don't have any idea why that's happening. So that's a thing. And then the backstory, which they kind of put out there in a flashback.
Yeah,
like
it's
kind
apparently
of
there's it's apparently the spirits of somebody from the past are possessing them. They basically, these Dybbuks are the souls of these killers from like the 1700s or somewhere in that neighborhood, if not earlier, that have kind of continued jumping from body to body to body through generations.
And it turns out like the one girl is Susie Hot Legs' grandmother or something like that.
Yeah.
Or great aunt or some shit like that.
Yeah.
So that's how they're related into the movie, right? So then you have all that. The sofa, as you see in that picture, I'm expecting the sofa to eat people or something like that. It doesn't eat anybody, unfortunately. No. But the coils that come out of coils, and you don't see the coils come out of the chair. You just see like old school, like, here's a shot, and then a coil's coming into the scene like this.
Yeah.
Where
it's terrible because too, the coils even are all wrong.
Yeah, the coils are not even. They're too
big. They are. The diameter is wrong. The spacing on them is wrong. I mean, literally, this is a suspension coil from under your truck. I mean, it's not even like it's a tiny little one where it's like, it's like that's something you'd expect to see in your recliner, and that comes out. I'd be more scared of it if it was like that.
Right.
But so no, it's like, no, this is.
And then it sucks souls from people. You don't know why. Yeah. You find out a little bit later, but you don't really know why it's even doing that. You don't even know what it's doing. The people that are getting knocked off are not even like essential. So you're like, whatever.
You don't even really care.
You don't care about anything.
If anything, it just adds to the comedy. Well, I mean, the only one that actually makes any sense is like the quote unquote the roommate. The hot chick's roommate.
Yeah.
Which, because like the chair's figuring it's getting, because again, the chair wants her and it's kind of like getting him out of the way. But they set it up earlier. That's like, it's like she has this thing where guys become obsessed with her and, won't leave her alone. And
that didn't make any sense either.
Exactly. But it's like, this is the only guy she's found that's not like that. And why? Because he's gay.
Because he's gay.
So the chair don't even worry about that.
I mean, I guess, and they never really touch on that. I'm assuming that the reason why is because of, but it didn't really make any sense. The only reason you can sit there and say is because she's related to this witch. Because I think they are considered.
Yeah. Well, it was the
or whatever,
her like great grandmother, whatever it is, was the person who stumbled across this witch or whatever.
Right, or something like that. But it makes no sense as to why she's so.
The demon jumped into her body, and
now, folks, the set of stems on this lady are enough to make anybody obsessed. I mean, I'll go there for a second. She had great legs, but even like the cop is like, yes, tell me more about your obsession and blah blah blah. It didn't make any sense at all. But
and can we talk about the cops for a second as we let's add to the overall comedy of the movie the names of the characters.
Yes,
you literally have Inspector, and I can't remember his first name, and I can't remember the name of his female partner, but you have Inspector Gravy and Inspector Grape. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
These are the names you came over with. Gravy and Grape.
Yeah.
Why don't you have Grape and Jelly? You know, Inspector Jelly and Inspector Grape.
And then they quasi try and give you, in a really bad way, some kind of backstory, at least on the male cop.
His wife just recently left him.
Yeah.
And the partner's all like, oh, well, maybe
like I would too.
My place. And he's like, no.
I would. Like I would too. You're getting obsessed with your clients over here. I mean, whatever, But and you could turn around and say, well, why, guys, are you telling me to watch this movie if it was so bad? Because let me tell you something. This is one of those movies that was so bad, it's funny. You have to experience it.
Yeah.
Because it literally was like, I gotta watch this to say I watched it, and I had this experience to say, oh my God, the chair gets up on its recliner and starts walking around.
The best thing, because even too, as I'm watching it, I actually shot video with my phone and sent it off to Dan. This dude like slips into the apartment and the chair comes out from like the living room, and literally you see it do this.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just nothing funnier than seeing this recliner come in through the doorway, looking at it like, what you doing in there, dude?
And then they leave. Every time they leave the house, they always do a shot up at the flat, like the window. And the recliner's looking out the window. Like, what the fuck is happening, right?
I'm sorry. And the thing that makes you, and again, and this is where you wonder, initially we know the roommate is attacked by the recliner.
Yes.
He's like stabbed through his calves by these, by the springs in the chair and all this other stuff, whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, when they get there, he's like stumbled wherever, he's in the bathroom trying to mend his own wound, stop the bleeding, whatever. And the chair's back in its place. I'm sorry, but at that point, you'd be, I don't care if I think they're a raving lunatic. If the person is showing me has like these giant wounds through their legs where springs have been shoved in, I say, the sofa, the recliner, the furniture stabbed me with its springs. I'm sorry. I'm taking that recliner, I'm dropping it in the dumpster and setting it on fire. That should have been the whole movie. These people trying to get the recliner out of the apartment and into the dumpster, and the thing trying to eat them so they can't do it. It would have been a better movie.
The best line of the movie, literally the best line of this movie is the girl, the friend of the girl, she gets away somehow, but she gets knocked down. She falls from the wing. So she comes in. This poor bitch has got a piece of glass sticking out of her forehead about 3 inches. Inspector Gravy goes, "Are you okay?" Motherfucker, I got a piece of glass sticking out of my forehead about 4 inches. I don't think I'm okay. Like, really, dude? What in the fuck are you talking about? So, guys, Killer Sofa.
Killer Sofa.
So much to find wrong with it. So much to make fun of it. You will laugh your ass off throughout this entire thing. Matt, take us away.
All right, everybody. For Danny J and the entire staff of DJB Productions Network, we hope you're enjoying the show. Like us, subscribe to the channel. We have plenty of content beyond Shit Your Pants Wednesday.
We do.
We've got stuff for anything you like, man. We've got comedy stuff. We got superhero stuff, sci-fi stuff, music, wrestling, which actually, the network started with that Way Cool Wrestling show many years ago, and we've just been expanding, including our newest show, WTF.
Yeah, WTF, which is our newest hit. It's a runaway hit. You gotta check it out. It's a great show. Right in the playlist. Look in the playlist under comedy. You'll see WTF there, as well as Shit Your Pants Wednesday under the geek stuff. It's a lot of stuff for everybody. Just check it out. Subscribe, share the channel, get it out there, guys. We've been gaining subscriptions like hand over fist recently with some of these newer shows. So it's been a great support, and I really appreciate everybody's support with it. But definitely, we need more. Check it out. Start your SYPW parties on Wednesdays or whatever. If you can't do it on Wednesday, do it on Thursday. I don't give a shit when you do.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying. Party.
Hey, see our suggestion on Wednesday? Do it on Thursday. Who cares? We're scheduled for the following week. Whatever. The point is, especially nowadays, and as things are starting to kind of semi get back to normal, invite the people in that you know you're comfortable with, that you know are not going to show up if they think maybe they're contagious or whatever. The whole point is to get together with the people that you enjoy spending your time with and having a little bit of fun, breaking up the work week. I mean, that's what we did when Danny first started Shit Your Pants Wednesday amongst us and our other friends. It was a great way of just, hey, let's get together. It's a cheap night out. Hang together at the house. We hang together for a couple hours, have ourselves some good food, and we watch a movie that we sit there and go either, A, that was really great, or again, we spent the whole time Mystery Science Theater and the crap out of it. And either way, we had a blast doing it. And that's why we're going to bring you even suggestions like Killer Sofa, because it's just a great way to have fun with your friends. So that being said, please join us next week. You'll know about it. And if you're subscribing and you're hitting that notification bell, you'll get a notification. Check out our Shit Your Pants Wednesday page on Facebook. A link to that will also be in the description, as well as an IMDb link for Killer Sofa. I don't think you're going to have a problem finding it because I think it's the only one out there with the name. But either way, that'll be there so you can find it. And I believe it also gives some suggestions as far as where it's streaming and available for.
That's true.
It is very cool. So until then, make sure you got a clean pair of drawers, because you might just shit your pants. Unless you watch Killer Sofa, because you might pee your pants, because it's, quite frankly, it's that amusing.
A mess is a mess.
A mess is a mess.